female comedian. Although she had success as a local comedian, she felt as though she would never make it on a national level. To add to her problems, her elderly mother was suffering with health issues, and Lawanda had less time to do comedy. But just as she was about to quit, a phone call would change her fate. In 1972, Sanford and Son began airing on television. It was based on the successful British sitcom Steptoe and Son. Page's childhood friend, Red Fox, was the leading character, Fred Sanford. But they still had to fill the role of Aunt Esther, Fred Sanford's sister-in-law. Norman Lear had previously discovered Red Fox by seeing him perform his raunchy material in a nightclub, and decided he would be perfect for the role of Fred Sanford. Similarly, one of the Sanford and Son producers, Aaron Rubin, saw Page perform her raunchy routine at a nightclub and thought she would be good for the role. He was unaware that Page and Fox had known each other for a long time. When he told Fox about possibly casting Page, Fox enthusiastically said yes. He knew that she would be the perfect fit. After all, their lives had intertwined from the very beginning. Having grown up together in St. Louis, Missouri, they both then got their starts in entertainment on the Chitlin circuit of black theaters and clubs during the 1940s and 50s, and this is where they both developed their raunchy, provocative comedy styles heard on Party Records albums. It would be a perfect match, or so it seemed. When Fox first phoned Page to tell her she had the role, she initially assumed it was a joke. After all, she was on the verge of quitting comedy and thought she would never make it big. Now she was suddenly being offered a big break. It seemed too good to be true. However, Fox assured her it was real. Despite this, at first, Lawanda remained reluctant to accept the role for multiple reasons. She had never had any acting lessons and had never even read a script before, and felt as though she was unqualified for the job.
I had never worked TV before. I just worked nightclubs. See, I used to be a dancer.
She was terrified that she would let down her friend Red Fox. To make matters worse, her mother's health was failing, and she didn't want to leave her elderly mother to go and work, stating that her mother took care of her for years, and now it was her time to repay the favor as her caregiver. However, Red Fox managed to convince Page to finally agree to take the job, with Page using some of the money from the role to support her ailing mother. However, at the start, she struggled with the role. She was trying to follow the script and play the character the writers had written for her, but she came off as inauthentic.
Then every day they changed the script, and I didn't know that, And I'd go home and I'd study so hard. And next day I'd go back